Well, hello, and first of all, let me wish everyone a happy new year. As I record this, it is December 31st, 2024, the last day of the year, of course, which means that tomorrow we'll be on to a new year, which hopefully will be fabulous for everyone. In my case, frankly, I'm kind of glad to see 2024 go. To me, it kind of felt like a lost year. I really didn't make much progress on my recovery, and some things that I had hoped would happen did not happen. I mean, it wasn't a disaster or anything. Just I can't really remember much about it. But I do know that one of the big highlights of it was that an old friend and colleague of mine got back in touch with me, and we hadn't spoken in probably 25 years. And we've talked a few times since then. It's been just fabulous to hear from her. So that was really great. So thank you, Carolyn. I really appreciate that. Um, The topic that I wanted to talk to you today is really something that has been part of my life for a long time, and it's learning from others. Now, we know that, of course, we have role models and certain experiences that we observe in others that we find admirable. But I think just as important is to find things that other people have done that have not worked out so well and to be clever enough, hopefully, or insightful enough to say, I probably shouldn't do that. I remember when I was in high school, and I went to high school in the 70s, which is kind of the height of the drug craze. It seemed like everybody around me was smoking marijuana, and uh, that just never really appealed to me. For one, I always had a lot of respiratory problems, both as a young child and as an adolescent. And I really wasn't interested in doing anything that might damage my lungs, so I've never smoked anything, any kind of tobacco or any other substance. But more to the point is observing the behavior of people who were very frequent marijuana users. I didn't see anything really appealing about it. And I knew a very close example of someone for whom marijuana was a gateway drug, for one thing. And he went from smoking bales of marijuana to um, becoming an acid head, and later in life became an alcoholic, and tragically died at a very young age. He was only 53. And what makes this especially poignant for me is that this individual was my brother. Anyway, I saw that. And I thought, I don't want any part of that. I've never regretted it. Another example. This is from later in life, and kind of a different lesson. But I used to work with a guy. When I was working the American Airlines Flight Academy, I worked with a guy who was about to retire, and he had been a career military officer. After that, he retired from the military and worked for a defense contractor. Worked for them for about 20 years and retired from them, and then came to work for American Airlines for 5 years. And he had a master plan. His plan was that he would have his military pension, his defense contractor pension, his Social Security, a small pension from American Airlines, but also flight benefits. So that even though he was 72 years old, he would have a steady and substantial source of income, lots of mobility, and the world would be his. What he did not plan on, though, was that upon retirement, he only had 6 months to live. Shortly after he retired, he discovered he had inoperable cancer and was gone pretty quick. And the last time I saw him, he kind of came by to see us at American and say goodbye, and it was very sad. And he was frankly very angry. He'd worked at this plan for this for his entire life, and just as he reached it, it turned to ashes. And one of the things I took away from that, aside from the obvious immediate tragedy of it, was that life is for living. And enjoy life while you can, because no tomorrows are guaranteed, And in my particular case, my wife and I always made a point of traveling whenever we could, because we love to travel. And it's a good thing that we did travel when we're younger, because now that I'm disabled, extensive travel is just beyond me. I doubt that I'll ever get on an airplane again, which means there's a lot of places I won't be going. So anyway, look around you, and when you see people doing things that look smart, think about doing them. But if you see things that haven't worked out for people, take that into consideration as well. That may save you a lot of heartache, or on the other hand, if you follow somebody else's successes, it may work out really well for you. And speaking of working out well, I hope 2025 works out really well for you. I hope it's a wonderful year. And if you have some experiences you'd like to share of things that you've observed that did work out for them and worked out for you, or lessons good or bad, I'd love to hear about them. I always do. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you again real soon in a new series of videos that I'm working on. So thanks, and see you soon. Bye bye.